It is important to notify the parents as early as possible. A conference should be held with the parents when the child is identified as needing special help. During the meeting, you should be factual, not emotional. Ask the parents what the parents expect of the child, and ask the parent to participate in the student study team. This is an important document that the parent must fill out that highlights the strength and weakness of their child. The educators can offer help with the process due to the fact that some of the information may be school-based. This form is used to obtain relevant information about the student, and this should be brought to the first student study team meeting. It is often that parents have different feelings during this process. They often feel shock or denial that their child needs help, anger/guilt that they didn't help their child enough, resignation, depression, and acceptance. The final stage is acceptance during. The student study team process starts with gathering data, then planning strategy to help the student within the resources of the general education program. Then you monitor the student's progress. You build the trust between the parent and the school and make referrals for formal evaluation if needed. The student study team summary sheet explains the student's strengths, lists accommodations and scores, lists any concerns that may arise, asks questions, brainstorms ideas or strategies, lists actions that need to be taken, and responsibilities, who and when they need to be taken. The facilitator, the principal, introduces the participants and states the purpose of the meeting. The referring teacher lists students' strengths and concerns, starting with strengths and ending with concerns. Student study chairperson schedules meetings and acts as a scribe. The parent, this is important because they want the best for the child. This helps with participation in the home. The student should be involved in the meeting if above the third grade level. Digital accommodations can include computer games, which are used to help the students with math, language, reading skills, or sometimes these help children because it offers visual reward system. The students can also use laptops to take notes, record lectures, and complete assignments. Other accommodations can be videos or online assignments as well. Oftentimes, sensory problems make functioning in the classroom hard. There are many accommodations to help. Students can use manipulatives, clothing, special seats, or sensory mats. This is used to provide handicapped children with free and appropriate education in the least restrictive environment. That can be at the home, school, hospital, or any other place. This is also tied to IDEA and Section 504. It is in the intent of the law to include the parents in each process and evaluation of their child's progress. The educators must make an effort to foster a relationship with the parent. It is a legal requirement that the parent gets a copy of their rights. Parents have the right to request confidential information about their child. Parents have the right to have their child assessed, and parents have the right regarding their child's education. The court required a school to serve a child with a disability in a non-segregated setting when the necessary supports could be provided to make that setting appropriate. This is about educating students and giving them the appropriate education. Recent changes to the IDEA regulations make clear that students with disabilities cannot be removed from general education simply because they need modifications to the general curriculum. This is discriminating against students with a disability. The Michigan State Board of Education adopted procedures for determining least restrictive environment. The procedures require that options must be available in general education programs within our general education facilities. Further, this must be allowed by the IEP team, which includes an explanation of the extent to which the student will not participate with non-disabled students in the general education program in extracurriculars or non-academic activities. Related to funding, the first bars states from adopting, including mechanisms that result in placements that violate least restrictive environment. Highly qualified teachers. Teachers must have several qualifications related to providing specialized instruction, but now must also have content matter qualifications that meet highly qualified standards with no child left behind. Access to curriculum. That means in Michigan that special education classes must offer student with disability access to curriculum that addresses the grade level, content, expectations, and high school graduation height standards. This requires all schools to offer all students access to general curriculum according to standards by the state. LRE in Section 504 mandates that education in the least restrictive environment and states that if students are placed away from regular school, the facilities, equipment, and programs available in that placement must be comparable to those available in regular school. The multidisciplinary team process. Much like the student study team can order formal testing if it's determined that the child needs it. Formal testing is ordered by the student study team. Members include the school psych, teacher, the nurse, parent, and the school administrator. In Larry B. versus Rouse, California, 1979, it was ruled that IQ tests were culturally and racially discriminatory. IQ tests should be age appropriate and free of cultural and racial biases. Common tests include Wechsler Intelligence Scales, Stanford-Binet Intelligence Scale, and Slauson Intelligence Scale. The Wechsler contains several subtests that measure verbal performance skills, also include information, similarities, arithmetic, and vocabulary. Common assessments are the Brigance, and it measures kindergarten through the ninth grade. The Woodcock-Johnson Psychoeducational Battery, which is norm referenced and for ages 2 to 90. The Wechsler Individual Achievement is also norm referenced in ages 5 to 19. Observations are to track a student's normal everyday performance. It is often a good idea to be stealthy. Sometimes students know they are being observed and it changes their performance. They often act better than they would when not being observed. The disciplinary model is the idea that students would be tested in many different areas. If a student tested poorly in one area and not others, then the discrepancy would be due to a learning disability. This is not necessarily true. This model doesn't completely measure a student's progress and shouldn't be the sole measurement for determining funding for students who are struggling.